to prepare for our full meeting assignments, to provide fellow members with helpful constructive evaluations, to help the club maintain the positive, friendly environment necessary for all members to learn and grow. Officer will come upon to do so, to treat my fellow club members and our guests with respect and courtesy, to bring guests to club meetings so they can see the benefit Toastmasters membership offers, to adhere to the guidelines and rules for all Toastmasters education and recognition programs, to advocate Toastmasters core values of integrity, respect, service, and excellence during the conduct of all Toastmasters activities. Thank you. Please, you may have your seat. So at this juncture, I'll be inviting the Vice President Education, who will be taking over. So please, let's welcome him with the resounding applause.
Distinguished Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and our guests in the house, good evening.
Good evening.
Can I have louder? Good evening.
Good evening.
Again, my name is Toastmaster Timmy Robinson, Vice President, Education, Unity Toastmasters Club, standing in for Madam President, who is unavoidably absent this evening. Toastmaster Akudo Zerbe. Happy New Year to everyone.
Happy New Year, sir.
Today is our 345th meeting. And can I please ask you to please ask you to stand up from wherever you're sitting and shake hands with at least 3 people. Tell them Happy New Year. Happy New Year.
That's what he's doing.
Happy New Year. Thank you so much. Thank you, sir. All right, thank you so much, everybody. This evening, we want to try our best and fast track the procedure because this environment is being gated, as you can see. Okay, so thank you for enduring. Tonight, I'm not going to waste our time for obvious reason. Wow. You know, I have learned many things in Toastmasters. One of them is humility. When I came into Toastmasters for the first time, I was supposed to complete a form. I was so disappointed that I was not given the opportunity to tell them the degrees that I have backed. And they didn't allow me to tell them how many people I'm older than in Toastmasters Club here. And so the Toastmaster who is going to be a Toastmaster day, when I read his profile, I laughed. I tell you the truth, he's an ancient member of Unity Toastmasters. Do you want to put your hands together for him, first and foremost? The past president of Unity Toastmasters Club, is a management trainer and consultant with interest in agribusiness. Is it agribusiness or agrobusiness, sir? I'm learning every day. He joined Toastmasters in 2013. You see that? And has served at various leadership roles at his club, area, division, and district. He currently serves as the Quality Assurance Manager for District 130. Fellow Toastmasters and our guests, please put your hands together as you welcome Winston P. Ekwotu. Thank you. Good evening, my fellow Toastmasters and our guests. It's such a delight to be here at the first meeting of Unity Toastmasters in the year 2025. It's a beautiful year. And what is most interesting for me in this meeting is the fact that we have someone who is president in waiting now playing the role of president. That's what made the whole, in fact, when I saw him on stage as the president, I was like, wow, it is his year of open doors. Okay, so I will be playing the role of Toastmaster of the day. How many guests do we have in the room? First time in the Toastmasters meeting, you're welcome. So I take it that one of your New Year's resolutions is to improve yourself this year. Interesting. And it always happens the first week. In the first week of the year, I noticed that there was someone that we have been following up on. I was so shocked when I saw us welcoming him to the group. I said, wow, New Year resolution. Last night, he has already. So let's see what happens in the month of February when Valentine comes. All right. So for you, you're welcome. Toastmasters started in the year 1924. So this year we will be 101. And we have well over 17,000 clubs around the world. It is almost certain that at this very moment, somewhere in the world, there is a Toastmasters meeting taking place. And we bring people together and we equip them to become better communicators and leaders. And we do that by practice. So you will notice that everyone who will come here will play a role and they will receive feedback. And through the feedback, they will grow. So I want to welcome you all to this meeting. For today's meeting, we are going to have 3 parts. The first part will be for the prepared speeches. This is where members will have prepared themselves before now to deliver speeches. We call them projects. And Toastmasters operates through, or we learn through 11 educational paths. So each person will come up here to speak from one educational path, and they will have an evaluator. The second part of the meeting is for table topics. This is where we learn to speak extemporaneously. So we will have people who will come up here, and there will be a table topics master who will come with a set of questions that no one would have known about before today. And we would learn how to think on our feet and articulate our thoughts within 1 to 2 minutes. And the third part is for evaluations. Now, this is where we will learn how to give feedback in a manner that leaves whoever you are giving the feedback, the recipient, more encouraged. So, Pastor Henna, the way you are flow tense, you are not making me tense. When I mention table topics, you just feel your face. Please relax. It's a new year. So I have open doors. For all of you, you will know why he's so tense when it's time for his own project. Because I mentioned table topics, and when he's speaking, it's making me, I'm feeling tensed. So one of the things we're going to try to do today is to clap as much as possible. And as we go along, we will be having different variations of clapping. Now, before I invite the general evaluator to come tell us about his role and introduce his role players, I want us to, who would like to volunteer? Now, what I want is not your very well-crafted New Year resolution. I want you to tell us the funniest New Year resolution you have had. The funniest one you have had. I read somewhere, someone said this is the year of open doors. So one of the things he wants to learn how to do this year is how to pick padlocks. And another funny one could be just Mr. Paul telling us he wants to visit the barber frequently to get it lined up. So let's hear, what's the funniest one you've had? Just Mr. TV, would you like to share one? Wow. You can take from there, don't worry. I can't think of anyone.
We can't think of anyone, so we'll keep thinking of one. Let's see who else would like to share. Toastmaster Olatunji. You can't think of one. Toastmaster Ella is trying to cool down his.
Mine is the same every year.
It's time every year.
To reduce weight.
But lose the weight you gained last year. Someone said that if you want to lose weight, that you shouldn't say you want to lose weight. Say you want to fit into Toastmaster Timmy's dress. Imagine that you like the suit and you want to wear this suit next year.
It's not possible.
Oh, he of little faith. All right, so let's put our hands together as we welcome the general evaluator, Toastmaster Oluwatosin Adeyeye. Thank you so kindly, the Toastmaster of the day. Can we give it up once more for him? Ladies and gentlemen, Toastmasters and our dear guests, I must say it's really good to see all the beautiful and amazing faces at this meeting. I think it's an index that 2025 is going to be a prosperous year.
Fantastic.
It's not going to be a tipaneous year. We pray. Tonight, my role as the general evaluator would be to appraise the general meeting, to appraise the quality of the meeting, provide feedback on all the segments, as well as, acknowledge the excellence and also ensure that I provide feedback on the opportunities for improvement. And I won't be doing this alone. I have a GATS team that will be supporting me throughout this role of mine. Ladies and gentlemen, without wasting much of our time, in no particular order, please make welcome the grammarian for tonight's meeting. Thank you. I love the way you're preparing 2025, a year to eat all. Yes. Please make welcome Toastmaster Olatunji Buhari as this is written.
Good evening, fellow Toastmaster and guests. I didn't know that the general evaluator was going to come in first. Well, it's okay. It's a new year. And I think the new year is starting well for me. That's right. By saving so much money. Let me explain. This morning, while I was having breakfast with my nephew, I told him that I needed to help my daughters to audit their school shoes. I do that every Sunday in preparation for school tomorrow. So while they're having a breakfast, he told me that he was going to head to go and polish shoe. So he stood up and he went to meet our gatekeeper, security guy. And he told him that if he sees a shoemaker passing by, he should call him. So when he came back, I said, Basit, what you said is wrong. There's not like a shoemaker. It is called shoe black. And he was arguing with me. He said, there's nothing like that. It's not shoe black. And while we were eating, my wife came around. She also said, no, it's not a shoemaker, but it's a cobbler. I said, you're also wrong. So, Basit in his short character always want to prove that he knows this stuff. So he went upstairs to go and get dictionary. When he came downstairs, he said, Uncle, before he checks, we want me to make a bet. I was supposed to give him like 100 USD to take back to school. He now said to me that if he gets it right, what am I going to do? I said, I will double his money. And I said, what about if you ever? He said, we will forfeit. But, oh, fantastic. I continue to eat my own bread and egg. So check the dictionary. I noticed that I was quiet for some time. Say what I look up. He went to bring his food. He checked. He didn't say anything. And I asked him, have you checked? He said, yes, I've checked. So what did you find? He said, it says shoe black. It's somebody who cleans or polishes shoe. So I'm right. So he said, yes.
Shoe what? Black.
Black. Shoe black.
Black.
It's called shoe black, but not shoemaker. How do you spell it? Exactly. Just the same way you spell shoe. Shoe black and black. That's so yeah, shoe black. So that's what I told him. Dad, I started continuing my food. I didn't say anything. He didn't eat. I continued. So, basically, what I'm trying to say is this: that my role today is to pay adequate attention to all our speakers on the use of language, phrases, and of course, not so good languages. And at the same time, I'll be paying attention to the pronunciation words. It is also my duty as a grammarian to introduce the word of the day. And the word of the day was carefully chosen to align with the theme of the day. So the word of the day is humorous. Humorous. And it's an adjective. Yeah. And the adverb is humorously. So which means having or showing sense of humor. And the synonyms are witty, funny, hilarious, entertaining, comic. An example could be a humorous and entertaining speech. So it is my belief that all of us will use the word of the day massively in our intervention. Jim is also here. To use the word of the day very well in our intervention, and I'll be back to present my report. And also say thank you to my nephew for giving me $100. Thank you.
Thank you, leave the grammarian. Next, would have the accountant in person of Toastmaster Adama. Please, let's put our hands together.
Oh, yeah, please keep coming.
Adama, the accountant. Oh, yeah.
Good evening, fellow. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests.
Good evening.
I'm here today to serve in the capacity of the accountant.
That's right.
For this humorous meeting that we have today. Even though it's important to note, or it is humorous to note that grammarian has currently used it 5 times in a short introduction, but I'm looking forward to coming back and giving my report. Enjoy the humorous meeting.
Thank you. Thank you. Next, I'll be calling on the timer for tonight's meeting. In person of Toastmaster Sets. Please make welcome Toastmaster Sets as he approaches the effort.
Good evening, Toastmasters and guests.
Good evening.
My name is Toastmaster Seth Kilta, and in our meeting today, I'll be serving as the timer. So, as a timer, my role today is to time everybody as they are giving their prepared speech, and also during when we're having the table topics and every activity, so that we make sure everything falls in time. So just with me here, cards, just like you have the traffic lights. I don't know, it reminds me of me when I raise the yellow and the green card to tell you that we are within time. Yellow, you should get ready to stop. Red, it means you should stop. So how it works is this: those who are given the table topics, we allow to use 2 to 3 minutes, while those who are given prepared speech within 5 to 7 minutes. So with that, thank you. I'll be coming back to give my report afterwards.
Thank you. So please let's get ladies and gentlemen, Toastmasters, you've met my GATS team. You've met Toastmaster Olatunji Buhari. You've met Toastmaster Seth, and you've met Toastmaster Adama. And later segments of tonight's meeting will be here to give our report as a collective. Over to you, the Toastmaster.
Thank you very much to the general evaluator. I am looking for all the role players. Okay, this Toastmasters is a place where we come to learn. And one of the goals Raf Smedley had was to make sure that we learn in an environment that is full of fun. And in today's world, because of how serious people are and the way the world is now, someone mentioned T-Pain. I don't know what that means. But it is safe to say that people are almost always stressed. And that's why there are a group of persons who advocate that we find ways to laugh. It has a way of distressing, it has a way of reducing the tension, and we learn more when we are in a fun environment. A fun environment is created by people who are here to have fun. In light of that, the word of the day, I heard humorous, I heard humorous. I'm not too sure which it is, but I know we have English majors and we have lawyers in the house. So it would be nice for us to actually know the correct pronunciation of that word. Is it humorous or humorous? Humorous. So let's learn that word and let's take it up with us. Is that okay? And then for the table topics, it's 1 to 2 minutes, not 2 to 3 minutes. The only person who has 2 to 3 minutes today is my friend. Every other person is 1 to 2 minutes, please. Without further ado, let's welcome our first speaker in the prepared speeches segment. This person will be evaluated by Toastmaster Anna Dazi. With a round of applause, can we welcome Toastmaster Anna Dazi to the lectern to tell us the rest of the
Good evening, Toastmasters, and Happy New Year once again. I have the pleasure of evaluating a humorous Toastmaster. I found her humorous because I was privileged to be around during her last speech, and we all laughed. For those that were around, who remember her last speech, it was a humorous one. So I have the opportunity to use the word humorous once again. She will be speaking from the Presentation Mastery Pathway, Level 1. And the purpose of her project is for the member to learn or review basic methods for writing a speech with a defined purpose and to present a well-organized pitch on any topic of her choice. Timer, please note, she has 5 to 7 minutes to complete her speech. We hope this speech will also be humorous. Thank you very much.
Please put your hands together for Toastmaster Anna. Our first speaker this evening is a public health professional who supports projects and programs that are geared towards achieving a healthier Nigeria. She also co-leads Sold Out to Christ Foundation, a charity that caters to less privileged Nigerians. She joined Toastmasters because she wants to get better at communication and become a world-class speaker. The title of her speech is How to Catch a Lion. How to Catch a Lion. Let's welcome Toastmaster Wamaka Izianya. Please move your hands together.
Good evening, Toastmasters and guests.
Good evening.
Happy New Year again. I think that it's quite humorous of me to come here and attempt to teach you how to catch a lion, and I haven't done it myself. But just kidding, I've actually done it, and I'll tell you how. So sometime in 2022, I went to Kenya for a holiday trip. I decided to go on a safari with my friends. And as we were moving in the vehicle, we had the best tour guide ever. I've never seen anybody like that. And this guy is like, oh, there's a way to kill lion, and we do it here. We're like, okay, tell us more. You know, when someone just try to catch your attention, you're like, where's this guy going? And he's like, oh, the lion has to be sleeping first because if it's awake, you're already finished. Then you go from the back. And then he had this knife cutter, something like this. I bought this one after his spoke. And he was like, if you use it, you just put it in the back leg, at the back, on the beside the tail, the left leg. If you try the right leg, it will not work. And we're like, do it. This kind of thing, you don't argue with people, just go and show us. And he showed us. And it worked, as in he finished. You have to tiptoe. I mean, it's a sleeping lion. Wake it up. Your own. You have to tiptoe, do the thing, and the lion did not wake up. Start making noise, doing all kinds of things, beating drum, lion no wake. So we're like, something is happening here. Let's try. Me, I'm adventurous. So I'm like, okay, give me a call because I cannot start with. Let's find the fault and attempt. And I made the attempt, and after doing it, I saw that the thing was not waking up. I said, this is magic. Yeah, let's go and try again with another big one. And we found a bigger lion and attempted it as well, and it worked. Everybody my friends, all of us are crazy people. We're like, let's try this thing, and it worked. So, with that said, if you need more tips, just come and meet me after this presentation. I'll show you how it works, and I have video evidence. Anyway, so when I decided that I was going to give a speech, I was wondering what should I talk to you about, and I thought about this topic. Just came like light bulb. Well, let me tell you guys my experience so that you know that I can do bigger things, bigger than my size. And I went to watch a YouTube video. I actually Googled how to catch a lion, and I watched this YouTube video of 3 hunters in some African safari trying to catch a lion. Of course, they didn't know our tricks, so they were using some other methods. Now, they all had rifles because if you want to do this kind of mission, you need to know the tactics, right? They had this very big guns, and this lion was huge. Like, the ones you see on the TV. It's the biggest I have ever seen. I've never seen it both in real life and on TV anywhere else. And they used these rifles plus the videographer, 3 men. They were all prepared. They were shooting. Like, it took a lot of bullets before they were able to tame that particular lion. And finally, they got it and everything was fine. But watching the video, you know how content creators of nowadays, like said, they will do your heart will just be beating like, where is it going? Are they going to die or they'll be fine? But I've learned that I will not be afraid when I'm watching a video because how did they post it? They lived, Abby. They died. We'll never have seen it. So my heart just relaxed, even though they were trying to get us. Now, the point of this speech I have said is it's a new year, like our TMOD was saying, we have New Year resolutions, things we want to do. And a lion in this sense represents anything that requires your bravery and your boldness and your audacity. So it's a new opportunity for us to chase those goals, do those things that we are afraid of, like me giving a speech on boldness and bravery and catching lions. We have a new leaf to do those things. And there are certain things that you must do, whether you want to catch a lion in real life or you want to get those opportunities that you have in mind. And the first is that you have to be prepared. You have to be prepared, whether it's by having your pocket knife or by having your guns. You can't just go like that because if you go in your strength, anything you see is what you take. And secondly, I would say that you need backup. If you are attempting to catch a real lion, the YouTube video I watched was real. My story is either real or not real. That's for you to tell me. But in the YouTube video, there were 3 men with 3 big guns. You can't just go with 1 gun, especially if your gun is made in Nigeria. You know that it's really like them because if it fails you, that's the end of your life. And who will you say sent you? And you have to be ready to try again until you get what you want. I saw them doing, fire for fire multiple times. If you shoot 1 bullet, well, the lion can see whether it can catch you while you're trying to catch it. But you must be willing and ready to make those moves and make those steps over and over again until you get what you want. So in this year, go again as many times as we need to. And the final thing I'll say is achieving those goals is not necessarily a linear process. So it's fine if you fail and try again, and fail and try again. What matters is that you get up and you keep going. So in this year, 2025, I hope that you chase your dreams. I will end with the quote that my younger sister wrote on my board at some point in 2020. She said, do something that scares you every day. Do one thing that scares you every day. So step out of your comfort zone, take bold moves in 2025. And if you do decide to catch an actual lion, I hope that you would give me some portion of the meats for the inspiration that I put in you, because I'm very sure that anybody here who catches a lion will heard it first from me, because I did it first. So you give me my royalties, you give me my lion meat that I will eat. And we also enjoy, like having lion blood up your sleeves. You know how when you kill a chicken or any animal, when the blood splashes on you, you know that you have done something great. So you have that boldness and confidence as well. Thank you for listening.
Please put your hands together again for her. And then we'll go down in history as the person who delivered the first prepared speech in the year 2025 in Unity Toastmasters. Please put your hands together. While some of you are still contemplating your New Year goals and your New Year resolution, people are already giving speeches and they are growing. All right, so now let's take some time to give feedback to Toastmaster Wamaka. We will have little slips of papers that will be handed over to you. If you don't have one, please raise your hand and Toastmaster Musa will get one to you. Toastmaster Musa?
Yes.
Yes, okay. So we would give feedback to her. In Toastmasters, we give feedback using what we call the sandwich method. So you will commend her on what you think she did well in the course of that speech. And you will make one recommendation, something that you believe and you know that if she incorporates it into future speeches, they will be better. And then you will end again with a commendation. If you don't have any commendation, just tell her, hey, it's fine. It's okay. But have something nice to say. As we're doing that, I would like Mr. Musa to get ready to come inform us on the objectives of the second speaker. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Toastmaster Musa Abubakar.
Good evening once again.
Good evening.
I will be evaluating an ebullient Toastmaster who will be speaking from the persuasive influence pathway. He will be speaking on level 4, project 1. The objective of his speech is for the member to practice strategies for adjusting to unexpected changes to a finalized plan. Timer, note he has 15 to 20 minutes. I will be back when called upon to give my report. Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. Now, you know the funny thing, one of the interesting things with the humorous speaker is the fact that how many of us know why it is important for you to learn as a speaker? If you hope to speak to a Nigerian audience first, you must learn how to make people laugh. Do you know why? Well, test. Yeah. That's one. That's two for some of us. What else? Situation doesn't allow us to laugh. The situation doesn't allow us to laugh. Now, humor has a good way of breaking the barrier. You know, whenever you come up to a stage, especially a stage for the first time, you would feel like the world is against you. You would feel like everyone is against you. But when you can get them to laugh, it breaks down the wall. I had an interesting experience I visited a club where I was the only black man. And I tried making them laugh. And I was the only one laughing. And you know what that means? It was evening and I said good morning. And I was sweating and it was during winter. So that should tell you something. So you see, getting people to laugh is not easy. If you doubt, look at Toastmaster Henna. On the regular level, Toastmaster Henna will be laughing, but because his speech today requires that he should make us laugh, laugh has left. So the next speaker, the speech is in two folds. The first part will be a 5 to 7 minute speech. And then he will have 5 to 10 minutes for impromptu responses. I want to plead. Most of us can perceive the chemical in the room. So I want to use my office as Toastmaster of the day to plead that we should reduce the 15 minutes to another 5 minutes. So instead of having 15 to 20 minutes, let's have 5 to 10 minutes so that we can leave here in no time. Sir, you know you are the director and I'm a regular Toastmaster. 5 to 10, like 12 is okay. Good, 12 minutes. Mr. President, that's fine. That's fine. So 12 minutes it is. So our next speaker is a seasoned Toastmaster. And now there's something that I want to raise here. Usually he tells us that he's married to one wife, but 2025, that introduction is off. Is that advocate? So I want to show you have changed that. Because 2025 now I'm saying that he's a seasoned Toastmaster, married with kids, and loves company of happy people. So if he has so I don't know has that advocacy changed. He's currently the director of Area 9, the Indian past president of the club. Let's welcome Toastmasters. Now, guess we know you there, supposed to. Okay. The Toastmaster be there, sir. Fellow Toastmasters, and I'm here to guess. Good evening. Good evening. This speech to me is like killing a lion. Because I was thinking how to go through this process. But I realized that, let me first of all start by asking you just a question. Vice Mohammed, imagine you are built to be in Lagos for a strategic meeting, business related. You booked your flight for 12 noon on a particular day. You got to the airport early enough, 7:30, waiting that your flight would be 8 o'clock. Suddenly you heard somebody announcing, flight number 0078. Passengers, we are pleased, I'm sorry to tell you that this flight has been scheduled for 9 o'clock. So, okay, 9 o'clock. So I still get to Lagos by 10 o'clock. So I'll catch up my meeting. While waiting, it's past 9:30, and you hear the female voice saying, flight number so due to weather situation, the flight will not be commencing again, or rather, your flight is now for 12 o'clock. How will you feel? What will be your reaction? I need to be in that meeting. So how are you going to respond to that disappointment?
Yeah. First of all, already the incident has.
And there's enough flight boarding
Sorry?
for 10 o'clock. There's enough flight boarding for 10 o'clock. Is it possible you just pick up money and buy another ticket?
Well, if I have the needs and depending on how important
there are options you can.
Yes, if there are options, exactly, I have the means, certainly, depending on how important the meeting is. Otherwise, I would put a call and surprise if it's not really.
I said it's a very strategic meeting.
I have an option, I will buy another ticket.
Great.
So in life, as leaders, situations happen. And that's why in leadership, we have something categorized as situational leaders. Area 9, our success plan for 2014, running to 2015, was that we needed to have, I'm sorry, 2024.
For us.
I thought we were not listening. So 2024 was that we need to have a social event, and it was supposed to be hiking. So it was planned. I got my team. We asked the welfare officer to chair that team, and everything was good to go. We had outdoor hiking, outdoor tribe hikers to be our tour guide. We had December 7th fixed for the event. We had gotten our t-shirts, branded t-shirt ready. Publicity is in top gear. Just 3 days to the event, I got a call from a senior Toastmaster. Area director, are you aware that Toastmaster International does not associate with hiking? I remember 2017, 2019, we did hiking. So I'm like, why? He said, it's a high-risk event. And in the event that somebody is accidented, they will sue us. And that will be a problem. So I relaxed. And she forwarded to me the policy that is written in Toastmasters policies. So I went through it again. I said, okay, thank you, ma'am. So I thought for a while, what do we do? Do we call up this? People are committed themselves, money is paid. Do we go without our branded t-shirts? So in the midst of it, I realized that it's time to apply. Once I have learned over the years, fundamentals of managing difficult situations. And one of those skills is just calm down. Whenever you're confronted with issues, as Thomas killing the lions, calm down. So I calmed down, reviewed the plan before addressing my team. And one of the things I did was that, first and foremost, tone down the publicity. So there was no more publicity about that in any of the pages. 2, can we get a paramedical and a medical team to join us on that way? Do we need to do some form of medical advisory by advising people who participate so that they will appreciate? If you are that kind of person that have medical challenge, please don't show up. Or come with your medication. So that if there is any hiccup up there, you can take care of yourself. We can help you out. We did all those stuff. Got security in place. And I said, okay, we can go this far. And we went. The hiking was successful. But after, we're supposed to do the twin mountain. But we did one, I reduced to one. And I told the few members that this is situation, this is how we're going to go about it. So we went. Very successful hiking process. After phase 1 of climbing the mountain, one of us gasped for breath. It was serious. So I said, hey, the rest of you keep going. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay. But he was lying down. I saw my friend, so I never knew that he was that old. I mean, need to sponsor him, and he got somewhere and he was. I wish I had. We took care of him, allowed the paramedics to do it. We had the glucose, so he was, I mean, somehow he was encouraged because the other guy was already. So we spent about 5 to 10 minutes with this guy, just there, asking for bread. And I was scared. I said, God, don't expose me because I've been one before now. But luckily, he recuperated. We all got to the mountain top. It was fun. We enjoyed ourselves. Finally, an event for 2 hours. We spent 1 hour. That, for me, was situational leadership. And it was the best form of managing a disruptive situation. As leaders, I want to advise us. By conclusion, we say that, but whatever, whether personal, you're leading yourself personally, or you're leading a team, endeavor to apply the strategies of fundamental situation, difficult situation management. Calm down. Calm down. Review your plans and address your team or address the situation. Remember the lady that killed the lion? She calmed down. Observe what we were doing before she went further. It was most of the day.
I have no questions.
No, the question is open. You can ask us.
Can I go ahead?
Go ahead, sir.
Okay, so given the disruptions, will you take part in, will you advocate for hiking within Toastmasters?
Yes, thank you. Not necessarily with the umbrella of Toastmasters. Don't forget our objectives were one, to create bonding amongst the clubs. Two, we thought that we could use that platform to evangelize and sell the brand of Toastmaster. And thirdly, we imagine that hiking will help our emotional and help their mental well-being, which some of us really got it because I remember when I got home, because I've done it, the first time I went for hiking for 1 week, I was tough. But this time around, because we've been up towards that, most of us just wake up in the morning, go to do our stuff. Please endeavor to this year, amongst other things you can do, just take 5, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, try to improve your physical and emotional well-being. Go to places that are not toxic. Relate to friends that are open-minded, not friends that will validate or bring you down. That's why Toastmaster is good. Here, everybody is learning, and we encourage ourselves. Our sandwich position, I mean, a situation of evaluating ourselves and enhances us. So get better. So subsequently, I will not use the umbrella of Toastmaster, but I will go for hiking. Sure, most people were interested in having a second hiking. Thank you. I just want to, I don't go against the policy of Toastmasters International.
Yeah. Thank you very much. I have a question here, but you have already answered it. So, a very personal question. When you did that hiking, you mentioned that there is somebody for that in the field. I was in given that situation, for an adventure, that same person tells you he's interested in another thing. Will you be comfortable enough to go on another hiking with that same person that's almost able to us?
I know Michael Faraday, history said he tried discovering electricity for almost 999 times. In life, the greatest skill anybody can have is resilience. And therefore, no matter how challenging, I've not failed before, but I imagine that those who have failed know how it is. I'll give you an example. I have a friend who's a medical doctor now. Year 1 to part 4 in medical school. Each time he gets holiday, the father will give him money. The father was so proud of him. And I was like, son is a medical student. The village was just doing very well. Then he now failed in part 4. So it was not himself, wasn't coming out. Father now asked him, why? What happened? He didn't say anything. And the father was such a great man that he has already factored the school fees from year 1 to the 7th year, paid it to his back. So now, how will he explain to his father that he's dropped a year? So when he confessed it, I got a lot of laugh and say, see, each time you pass, you don't know what people go through that fail in life. Now you've experienced the rest of life, so you know which way to go. Well done. And I gave him more money in that session. And the guy is a successful medical consultant to start with. The third question, does that satisfy? I'll go with him. Right now. If you want to tell me, I'll go with him. After all, he completed the 3rd lap. Okay.
So,
Go ahead.
okay, so the planning process and the disruption, how it's affected you personally, mentally, and what advice you have?
I didn't get the question. Right? Can you repeat yourself again?
So I said the planning process.
Yeah.
What was the planning process? So having to pull different people overcome divide to ensure a successful hiking exhibition. What was the process like? And when the disruption took place, what was your state of your mental state, and how did you overcome it to get that leadership accurate?
Yeah, because I have over the time studied and learned about the fundamentals of managing this difficult situation. I only adopted the strategies to diffuse and resolve issues like that. One of those strategies, I was very relaxed. You know, sometimes as leaders, something will happen. And your body language will speak more than your voice presentation. Now, if you demonstrate failure, people around you, people you are leading, they will feel that impact. So let's not it happen. You be strong as a leader. You lead forward, not backward. So when something happens, just relax. Let your team not even know that something is crazy. Just relax. I remember when I was taking my daughter to school, first time in secondary school, we didn't have much money. So they got everything ready for school, but no money. And the girl child. So I sat down, relaxed, walked out, came back. And I went and met a designer friend of mine. I said, please, can you loan me? Then school fees about 400,000. I said, can you loan me 200,000? I'll give you back. He said, give me 200,000. I came in. I said, hey, let's go to school. I put them in the car. We went to school. I left them in the car. I went and did the preparation of the school. I said, my dad, it's a girl child. And I don't want to miss. I met her in school. Please, please. This is a good check for that 200. I meet her on my target. Woman looked at me and said, I haven't done this before, but I like your boldness. And she signed this receipt for me. Take to the counter, took it to the counter, and I couldn't accept my daughter. So my wife was happy, people were excited. The girl was excited. If I panicked, I would have gotten that solution. So please, in life, as leaders, never you panic when you're in a comfortable situation. Thank you so much. That's most of the day. But I will not go within that next time. I remember Toastmaster Paul. Toastmaster, don't worry. I remember the first time he went. If he wants to hold anything against you, I'll bring out the file.
Actually, when I saw him bring, I knew I could do it.
The first hike he went for, let me expose him. One of the first things he did, he didn't realize, I'm not sure he knew what hiking was at the time. Because we all wore, you know, there's a kit for hiking. He came with a pair of loafers. To climb the mountain. So he came back with a swollen feet. Thank you very much. So let's do the same thing we did for Toastmaster Wamaka. Let's give feedback to Toastmaster Paul Abe. Using the sandwich method, the CRC method, we should commend him on what he's done very well, recommend areas of improvement, and end with a commendation. Leadership sometimes requires sense that it's not so common. And one of the ways to enrich yourself as a leader is to consult widely. And after consulting widely, don't rush into a decision. Reflect and have some moments of introspection. Because the thing with consulting widely sometimes as a leader is that you will end up talking to about 5 or 10 different persons who are experts, who are very knowledgeable, and they're telling you 10 different things. And you will have to take a decision. So those moments of introspection would allow you to sieve through everyone's expert advice and come up with a unique solution that will get the ball moving. These and many more I have learned when I found myself in the kind of situation that Mr. Paul found himself. And I think it was Michelle Obama when she was speaking at one of the conventions, and she said, the thing with being the president of America is that you have 10 advisors who are extremely smart, extremely intelligent, telling you 10 different things about a particular decision you have to take. And you must take that decision because time is of the essence. So how do you distill from the 10 different and come up with a unique decision that you can live by? That and many more is the responsibility of leadership. So we have the third speaker for the prepared speeches segment. And it's my pleasure to welcome Toastmaster Ibisu Nwachukwu to tell us the objectives of this project. Put your hands together for her, please.
I have the pleasure of evaluating the very humorous, ebullient, hiking up verse, terrified Toastmaster Enna, who I'm sure will humor us with his very impromptu speeches. He'll be speaking from the Engaging Humor Pathway, Level 4, Project 1. So this is a peculiar project where he'll give 2 impromptu speeches. The purpose of his project is for him to develop the method for giving impromptu speeches and practice adapting rehearsed stories during his presentation. I'll be back with my reports.
Thank you very much. You are the one we have been waiting for. You are the one. You are the one. You know the theme of the meeting. Who can remember the theme of the meeting?
You said, did you say?
So, he is speaking from a path, the engaging humor path. And this project is on delivering impromptu speeches with humor. So it's like table topics. But here, he has 2 to 3 minutes, not 1 to 2 minutes. And he's going to respond to 2 topics. And I have 12 here that he should have rehearsed, all 12. And as a lecturer, I will select any 2. So I've been doing Tumbo Baskalamba and to get the 2 for him. So now let me introduce him, and I will make sure you understand the caliber of the person that is coming here. The man we're about to listen to is an engineer who joined Toastmasters in 2016 to improve his public speaking skills. He has been champion of public speaking of humorous, how do we call it now? Humorous contest. So you should contest. He represented Division F in Ghana in the year 2018 at the finals of the district speech contest. You know, I'm doing this thing to prop him up so that he's a father of 4 and a husband to 1. Let's welcome the past president of Unity Toastmasters Club, Toastmaster Enna Abaho.
He didn't
know that I was a Toastmaster. So how did you?
I know I will repeat this.
All right, so you have one that has been speaking to me. No, we're in that season of hearing from the Lord. So let's go. The first question I have for you. There is a thunderstorm at a large picnic. At a picnic for a large family reunion. And everyone is stuck in the casino. You decide to speak for a few minutes to entertain your group while the rain passes. So you have 2 to 3 minutes to keep us entertained until the rain stops.
Can you come again?
Should we give him the option to say no if he doesn't want it? No. You don't take the option. What we talking? So now let me bring it home. We are at a large family reunion, and a sudden thunderstorm has erupted. We've all gone under the gazebo, and you have decided to entertain us. It's calling me Fred. Fred is calling. You've decided to entertain us for a few minutes until the rain passes. You have 2 to 3 minutes.
Thank you very much. ladies and gentlemen, our great family, well, it looks like the weather has decided to crash our party. But we're not going to let a little rain to disturb this family party, are we?
No.
After all, we're a family. And families are like gazebos that are built to be sturdy, strong, and to weather any storm that may come. Am I right?
Yes.
I mean, what's a family reunion without some drama? It's normal. Look at the cousins over there. They're arguing over whether we still have amala left. The aunties talking about who is dating who. And even our uncle over there. Dance steps that might say the best or is it the worst dance steps ever?
Old school.
Old school. So at a time like this, if we have an additional drama in the form of a rainstorm, putting all of us together, who has a problem with that? Is it a bad? As we huddle around together, I want to remind us that we're not just a family. We're a strong team, like the Liverpool Football Club. But instead of football superpowers, we have strong super family bonds and a super strong desire to eat all the food. And speaking of food, I hope everybody is well taken care of. Not yet. Aunties, please help us with the item 7. Let's just take this as an exceptional feast where we'll make this reunion one to remember. But in all seriousness, I'm so grateful to be here with all of you today. Yes, we're a crazy, lovable family, but I'm honored to be part of it. As we wait for the rain to pass, I want to leave us with a family motto. We may not have the biggest gazebo, but we've got the biggest hearts. And if that doesn't work, we may not have the best weather, but we've gotten the best family. So let's raise our voices. Let's raise our umbrellas and our spirits. And let's make this reunion one to remember. Who's with me?
That's part one. Okay. Toastmaster Edna, we said you should entertain us, and you are inspiring us to catch a lion. So timer, please work with us. He has 2 speeches, each of them 2 to 3 minutes. Oh. Because he also added to his misery. The guy was looking at you and wondering when you will give him the red card. Oh, okay. So yeah, you extended the time, but no problem. It's not the fault. So the second question now. No, you inspired me. Don't worry. Unity Toastmasters is holding an open house. We've asked you now to share a short speech about your experience in Toastmasters and how it has enriched your life. 2 to 3 minutes.
That was my favorite one. So, how many guests do we have in this meeting now? How many guests? Let's raise your hand. In 2016, I was a guest in Unity Toastmasters Club. And Basically, I came because I wanted to improve my public speaking. And the website has said quite clearly, first-time guests will not be required to give a table topic. But that day, Toastmaster Yuande, the topics master, invited me to speak on grateful. I stepped onto the stage, beheld the audience, and I was wishing that the ground would open up for me to fall in. Then I held the lecture. But the lecture was not as studied as this. And at that time, my weight was quite large. So I held it in both hands, and I was terrified and vibrating, and we all crashed. And we went on the ground for quite a while. Because they say, he that is done is ready. So I gathered myself and beheld the audience again. I joined the club immediately. And since then, I've given so many speeches, I've participated in so many contests, and the last one, the humorous contest of 2023, I got to the division level and won. Can you imagine it? Me, Ena Agbahuwe, will come up here and intentionally make the audience laugh. Can you imagine it? That's what Toastmasters have done for me. It has given me the confidence, but even more than that, it has given me so many friends worldwide. So please, if you'd like to join us, or if you are thinking of joining us, don't waste any time. Join immediately. And I can assure you, your story will even be better than mine. Toastmasters.
That was absolutely lovely. Now, if you know you cannot do that thing that you just did, put your hands together for me. So, Mr. Paul, you see that when he was shaking during the hiking, it was not because he didn't have the stamina. He was just nervous. No. It's not the first time he has actually fallen before. So thank you very much. Let's do the same thing we've done for the last two speakers. Let's give them feedback to Mr. Mojid. Let's give them feedback using the CRC method, commend them for what they've done well, and then recommend areas of improvement and end with a commendation. Let's ensure that he's inspired to take up stand-up comedy. That's what we should leave him with. We are racing against time. So I would implore our table topics master to limit the session to 5 to 7 minutes. So maybe we can take 2 people so that we can catch up with time.
Okay. Okay.
If we can, maybe we limit it to 2 guests.
Okay.
So to the guests, this is what we do in Toastmasters. We come to learn, we come to have fun. And it's the first meeting of the year. So we know you've heard a lot about setting New Year resolutions and New Year goals. So we didn't come here to give you that. We came to just make you laugh and relax so that tomorrow you can go about your activities. So let's be calm, volunteer, come out here and try out your public speaking skills. I assure you, the lecture is strong. The table is strong, and we have medical professionals here. So, should you start collapsing, we'll help you. And when it gets spiritual, there's a pastor in group. So let's put our hands together. So welcome to Pastor Moji Koshimo. The table.
The other round of applause for Toastmasters.
Okay, thank you very much. Well, I will make it very brief. First of all, let me just, for the sake of the guests, let me just explain what the tabletop is all about. So, as the name implies, tabletop, well, maybe not too descriptive. It's just an opportunity to test your ability to respond to a question or an instance without being prepared for it. So it just, life itself can be very spontaneous. So it just more or less like preparing you for that kind of period. So, well, because of time, we have just 2 questions. So we'll leave it for the guests. And one of our very special persons here has suggested a beautiful name. I think I like this name. Who is Barbara? Don't be shy. Okay. Please, a round of applause for Barbara.
Sorry, sir.
Sir? Okay,
I just did one.
You did, yeah.
And I need to explain what happened on my head.
So,
Yeah, just had to skip.
Okay. Just give a brief introduction of yourself.
Okay. Good afternoon. My name is Barbara Tapenda. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Barbara Tapenda. Okay. A little about myself.
Why are you here?
Okay. I think I want to improve my public speaking skills.
Excellent.
Yes. Okay, a little story about how I got to India. I have a friend, like a very big friend, an elderly friend, and once in a while we chat. And it was like, you talk like someone that will do very well as maybe an on-air personality or someone who could go into public speaking. And I've never really seen myself as such. And then I was like, I think we should meet Elder Paul Abbey. We know what to do with you. And then on Sunday, he took me to Elder Paul Abbey. By the way, we attend the same church. And he was like, okay, it's a new person for you. I think she'll do very well in Toastmasters. And I was like, okay, what's Toastmasters about? She was like, we meet two Sundays in a month. And that was last year, but I think we had already closed for the year. So it was like, okay, the next meeting is for, that's today 12th. That would be really nice for me to just come and see how things are done. So here I am. Thank you.
We have 5 questions. Just pick a number 1 to 5.
4.
It's okay. Give it. Interesting. Our camera saved some amount of money this morning. So what if it is about $100? He gave it to you to pursue your goal for this year. What do you use it to do?
My goal for this year. As someone asked today, someone was like, what are your plans for this year? And I was like, man, now God hand the day. I'm tired of, laying out plans, and then at the end of the year, it's either maybe plans I wrote down didn't work out, or something outside what I laid down worked out. So my plan for this year is to go with the flow. But aside that, I'm a baker, and my goal for this year is to reach out more. Who have told me I'm too in my own space, as in I'm depending more on just maybe WhatsApp to reach out to clients. I should reach out more. So $1,000.
Yeah, $1,000.
$1,000. I'll use it for Facebook ads, as in to propel my business, and then I think I'll try to meet people more. I'm too in my own space, so I was want to sell my car and go on the market.
Great. Is there another applause for Damson? Keep clapping for us. Well, the first guest has spoken, so who would like to volunteer from the many guests in the first? Oh, beautiful. Huh?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Oluwashiri Hassan. I'm here because I want to improve on my communication skills. I feel my goal basically is to be a world-class speaker someday. I feel this is the best way to start.
I think I can say what's up. Yeah. So we have okay, we left out question 4. So we have 1, 2, 3, and 5. So just be Oh, okay. Well, fair enough. So the year 2024 has ended. Can you share the funniest events that happened to you that you wish to remember, and of course, possibly repeat this year? Just 1 to 2 minutes. Yeah. Oh, it doesn't have to be a comedy show. Just it's a very simple. Okay. Sorry. Okay, no problem. We can answer that. So, okay. Great. Now, when year 2025, tell us one thing that you don't want to do this year. Like, why?
Okay, so one thing I don't want to do this year. So last year, I think I was very fearful. I was very calculative, trying to plan everything. So I think this year, what I want to do is take more risk, because I believe by taking more risk, I'm able to try new things. I'm able to fail and fail faster, learn, and also get to identify areas I can actually improve on. So I think that's one thing I really want to do this year. Basically, try new things, fail fast, learn, and improve on myself. Thank you.
Well, I think can then. Okay. Okay. So thank you once again for the opportunity to be the tabletop master. Hand over to the table.
Thank you. Please put your hands together. You know one interesting thing about table topics? It's that part of the meeting where you wish or you forget your name. Someone calls your name. Well, let's welcome Toastmaster Winston. Start looking. It happens to the best of us. Even those of us who are Toastmasters, I assure you. I noticed a guest got up and left in hall when we were calling guests. and that person is back now that we've handed over. Well, you know yourself. So it happens because even three Toastmasters, that's the moment where we start trying to engage the tabletop to be sure. Is everything going on well? We're not busy, we're afraid of them.
Let me relate something that happened to me last year. I joined a meeting in Port Harcourt, and they called for an experienced Toastmaster to start with the table topics. So I put up my hand, I volunteered, and they called me. After speaking, the topics evaluator was saying, next time we should get someone that is an experienced Toastmaster. 6, 7 years.
So I'm just trying to encourage our guests. I want for those of you who actually came out, please let's put our hands together for them. Now, not many of us will know this person I want to talk about very briefly. It was in this where Unity Toastmasters used to have its meeting, just not too far from here. What's it called? The name of it? SHI, yes. So we had this meeting, and then the hall was set such that the door was beside the stage. And so we invited a very fine gentleman to come up for table topics. And initially, like me, he was looking around to be sure, is my name Steve Winston? So when we beckoned on him, that is you we are calling, He got up, picked up his phone and started coming. And we started clapping for him. And when he got here, he just went to the door. And that was how he left the door. So you see, someone walked away, but I don't want to share my own experience. So what was there when I gave my high school guy, first people talking. We joined Toastmasters about the same guy. Why is shoot like Toastmasters?
The legend.
She's been around for a while. And why I shoot like him, and then I got up with the suit looking all that. If I when they called me, I was like, I was looking around and wondering what's going on. I came here to just see how the place is. And I would never forget no one actually forgets your first table topic. Mine was to give, I was told that it was Titi Ojo, and they said she's traveling. Can you propose a toast to wish her a safe journey or something? And the first thing I said was, I don't know Titi Ojo. Guess what? When I mumbled a few things, at the end they gave me a ribbon as the best table topic master. Wow. Best table topic speaker. So I'm still doubting the integrity of Unity Toastmasters. Because that ribbon made me come back, and I'm here 11 years now, 12 years now. Wow. So, all right, it's time for evaluation. So let's welcome the general evaluator, Toastmaster Oluwatosin Adeyeye, as it comes up to take off to the evaluation.
Thank you very much, the distinguished Toastmaster. Can we give it up for him once more? This meeting has been humor packed, and you would agree with me that we're having a good time here. We're done with the prepared to speech segment. We're done with the table topics, and now it's to the evaluation. So the evaluators, please get ready. So right now we're calling on the first evaluator to give us his evaluation. Ladies and gentlemen, please make welcome Toastmaster Anna Daze.
Thank you very much. Toastmaster Wamakan. When I came here, I said her previous speech was humorous. And I believe you all agree with me that her speech also today was a humorous one. Yeah. Thank you very much. Toastmaster Wamakan, thank you for teaching us how to catch a lion. But I don't think that is something I plan to do very soon. I'll be very fast at my evaluation. First of all, I must commend you for starting your speech with humor. You continue throughout your speech with more humor, and you also concluded your speech with humor. I also commend you for the use of props, that pen knife you used. For those that will be giving speeches, it's always good to use props. I remember there was a speech I gave on persuasive speaking, and I used, on and off, I found this in my bag. I used this a pepper spray. It's a prop. I showed it, and somebody suggested I should have sprayed it. I thought, should I still spray it? No. So we should, anytime we are giving a speech, we can always incorporate use of props in our speech. It makes gives a visual representation of what we are talking about. So I commend you for bringing that pen knife and showing us what it is. Also, everybody loves a speech with a story in it. It makes a speech more interesting, and you told us a story from the beginning of your speech and all through your speech, and it kept the audience captivated. Towards the end of your speech, you gave us bullet points. Richard, we should be prepared this year. We should have a good backup plan. We should be ready to try again. And even when you told us to be ready to try again, you also used your story to illustrate and drive home your points, which was very good. You also said we should fail and we should try again, get up and try again. One of our guests says he wants to fail soon so that he can fail faster. Thank you. And then said, he told us a quote, do something that scares you every day. That was a challenge to all of us. So what will I advise you or recommend you work on? You work on your stage presence. When you were speaking, you stayed here throughout. And then at the beginning of your speech, your hands were clasped. It portrays nervousness to the audience. So you should make a conscious effort to always try to leave your hands open because it's like you're welcoming the audience. Then or the audience will appreciate if you give a speech and you do not have to look at maybe a paper or a phone or something here. Other than that, I will conclude by saying I challenge you to give more speeches this year and to incorporate all the feedbacks you have received, both from me and from the written feedback. Overall, your speech objective was writing a well-written speech with a purpose, which was clearly focused, and you delivered it well because your speech had a good beginning, a good body structure, and a good conclusion. Your speech objective was well mixed. And I say well done and congratulations. I can't wait to get in this place. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. All right. So the third speaker, the evaluator of the third speaker, can we have the evaluator of the third speaker, person of Toastmaster, be so? As she makes her way, please let's put a picture.
I'm back like I never left. So I just want to give this personal. So Smina is one of those people that when you write an exam, just before the exam, first we say, I've not read. That was what you get. 100%. So he won. We contested together and we won, and it was a humorous contest. And then he's coming and he's showing the So I'm going to give an overview of my assessment. So I noticed vocal variety. There was an audience awareness. What you did clearly was you took advantage of the environment. And it was just ironic that as you were talking about rain, they just started rain, whatever the sounds of rain. You, despite the fact that we're poking fun at you, you obviously have an awareness of your environment and you're comfortable with the audience, which is very beneficial. I love your use of anecdotes. So now I'm going to go into specifics. You made mention of a lot of similes and metaphors. So you said something along the line of whether crash or party. I also liked how you engaged the audience. You asked a lot of questions. You made reference to the aunties that are gossiping, the children playing around, the Uncle Paul that was giving us old dance moves. So that was. You posed questions and you were very flexible with your responses. I remember you asked the question and then, do you want to continue? Yes, no. So with that, you adapted your speech. What often happens in impromptu speech, and in my opinion, is the hardest kind of speech to prepare for because you're not really aware of what could happen. You could plan one direction and everything just as you mentioned. I have forgotten, okay. So it happens. Now, for your second speech, it was a more topical speech because all of us here have at one point or the other come in and given our best speeches. We have broken the ice in Toastmasters. My personal opinion, I could be wrong because I don't feel like I'm worthy to be admitted, but I could be wrong. It was something that you could have smiled more. So it seemed for the second speech, it seemed more inspirational as opposed to humorous. So yes, I've seen you in action where you just crack jokes and it's a quick succession, but you were throwing in bits and pieces of humor, but it seemed more like an inspirational speech, and that really you could have flexed your muscles there. So the second speech really should have given more ground to flex your muscles. However, so another recommendation would be take more advantage of the speech stage. So I noticed you were moving here for, so just move around. Other than that, it was very fantastic. Your two speeches were amazing. great impromptu speaker, great humorous speaker. So you humored us with your humorous speech in this humorful environment. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster. It's so nice to have Toastmaster Musa Abubakar.
In life as leaders, situations happens. Today, I had the privilege of evaluating a sedulous and ebullient speaker. Toastmaster Paul, thank you for delivering an exceptional, humorous, enlightening, and educative speech. I love how you started your speech with audience engagement. When you asked Barrister Mohammed, if you had a strategic meeting in Lagos and your flight was rescheduled, how are you going to address to that? That really captures the attention of your listeners, because I noticed when you started your speech, a lot of people were a bit distracted. But the moment you said Barrister Mohammed, if you had a meeting in Lagos, that really captures the attention of your listeners. That's highly competent. Your body language, hand gestures were impressive and commendable. I love the variety of gestures used during your speech, particularly your confident posture, your laughter. You were able to engage your audience with laughter, smile. That was really commendable. Gestures have a way of making your presentation more effective. You also shared with us some of the key fundamentals of managing difficult situations, especially when you said, when an experienced Toastmaster called you and told you that hiking is a high-risk event. One of the key elements you did was you calm down. That's one thing that I've learned from you. That was highly commendable. You also responded to all questions raised by the audience. That's impressive. Now, for such a great audacious speech, what will I recommend? You only shared with us one key fundamental of managing difficult situations. You should have shared with us a minimum of 3. I was looking forward to hearing 1, 2, 3 key elements, because I was learning, and I'm sure a lot of people were also looking forward to hear those key elements. So I also want to recommend that you improve on your vocal variety. Vocal variety brings energy to your speech and keep your audience engaged. You can work on varying your tone, speed, and volume to match the emotions and significant areas of your message, especially when you said one of your members collapsed during the hiking or lost breath. At least I was expecting to see emotions, but you were laughing throughout. So you are a sensational speaker. You have met your speech objectives. Keep speaking, and I look forward to your next speech. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Now we've heard from all our evaluators. Next, we move to the guests. In no particular order, ladies and gentlemen, please make welcome the grammarian for tonight's meeting person of Toastmaster Timmy Robinson.
Okay. I'm wearing many caps tonight. I think we had fantastic speeches tonight. I was on the lookout to pick errors, but I didn't find one. Well, I didn't find them. So please put your hands together. Thank you very much.
Thank you. That was so quick. That was so fast. I think it's a way to start the year 2025. We feel faster, like our guest said, and then we move faster. ladies and gentlemen, please, the next team member on that country starts in. Please make welcome the counter for tonight's meeting in person of Toastmaster at Gamba. Please, let's put our hands together.
Good evening, gentlemen. Good evening. I'd like to use this opportunity to thank Toastmaster Timmy for giving me this opportunity. Toastmaster means that I go to the same church actually, and I remember last Sunday telling him that I want to be more intentional about taking on leadership courses this year. And I remember what he said to me. He said leadership is more practical than theoretical. So maybe start with Toastmaster. That was what he said to me. And as this is first Toastmaster for the year, I'm walking in and Toastmaster to me saying, "Oh, can you take on account?" I'm like, "Count me in." And then I really do want to be Thank you. Yeah, that's the time of next time. We prior speakers that I was intentionally looking out for how many times I'll say you and just like that Timmy Robinson, just like that Winston, zero filler words. That's not the Olatunji Buhari, I believe it's the Toastmaster that left. Okay, he used 5 times. Toastmaster Sek Kyalta, sorry if pronouncing it wrong, used filler words once. Toastmaster Wamaka Ezanya, filler words like oh, so 8 times. Toastmaster Rabu, responding to Toastmaster Paul Abbey, used it once. I'm not sure if I should have taken note of his or
no, just take note of everybody.
Okay. So use it once. Toastmaster Mojid, use it 3 times. Yes, use it 3 times. Guest Barbara Tepende, use it 10 times. Get Olua Shehi Hassan, use it 3 times. I used it 3 times. This is the 3rd time. I mean, I'm
Thank you. So the timer, you'll be the last person to give the report. So just time in 3 to 5 minutes. And here's my report. Ladies and gentlemen, Toastmasters and our dear guests, you can agree with me that there's been a fantastic meeting tonight. I came in about 3:47 and it was really beautiful to see that everywhere was properly arranged. And then we started the meeting about 4:02. That's commendable. Yes. 4:02 p.m.
That's late.
Yes, it's late, but it's commendable because if you check your time, because time varies. For some people, it's 4 o'clock. For some, it's 4:02. So within the time, you can still give person 3 minutes to 4 minutes to action.
Sorry.
So we have to commend the club for that. And it's really good to see that the Sergeant at Arms was able to open the meeting the right way. He brought in the energy and he pivoted the meeting the right direction to give the vice president who stepped into the shoes of the president quite accurately. The shoes fit perfectly. And we can't wait to see you come 2025, 2026 season. Amen. All right. And but just a recommendation. I saw when you sort of addressed us, one of the few things that we recommend at Toastmasters International is for you to tell us about Toastmasters International. You didn't do that. You should have told us about what Toastmasters International was about and what is the significance of Unity Toastmasters in all of the Toastmasters that we have. I thought that was something you needed to work on. You need to work on rather. And next, the distinguished Toastmaster, Winston, of course, is a boss. And he's an ancestor, did a perfect job opening the meeting, and then he took over and then told us about Toastmasters International and went on to tell us about how many clubs that we have across the globe and the need for our guests to actually join Toastmasters. And also brought about relatable experience of how he joined Toastmasters at the first instance. And we had a lot of examples from there to how someone, almost collapsed and all of that, just to encourage each and every one of us. Now, now I will go to the speeches. I thought our speakers were very much prepared for tonight's speech. It was in alignment with the theme of tonight's meeting. We're all laughing, having a good time. And it's a good way to start here because, come on, Nigeria has been taking a toll on every one of us. And we were able to distress, like you said, dismiss Toastmaster and move forward from there. And to our evaluators, I thought you did a fantastic job. The first evaluator came in to tell us about the objective, but I didn't think I heard that, the objective of the speaker. So one of the few things you also have to note is to pay attention to the core principles, your own role. I know that many times we could come up with stories to actually, try to detend and all of that, but please ensure that you keep to your role. Next, we add the table topics, rather. Table topics was straight to point. I love the diversity, how that we're able to adapt to time. The environment, like we said at the very beginning of the meeting, was not exactly too conducive for us. So we had to adapt and then just bring in two of our guests to speak on those topics. And I think they did a fantastic job. Please, let's put our hands together for our guests. And next, the evaluations, perfect evaluation. I love how all of our evaluators paid attention, close attention. But you will notice that two of our speakers moved away from the lecture while they were speaking. We had a lot of them come to this side. You shouldn't leave the lecture or speaking area vacant. Your speaking area is from here to here before the lecture. But quite a number of our speakers might do that. So I think that is something you need to take on and work on. Next would be the GATT team. Yes. Can we give a round of applause to the GATT team? At some points, some people went out, they couldn't come in, and then some people had to, step into those shoes, and they did an accurate job. But one of the few things we encourage our Toastmasters, in spite of you wearing many hats, you have to ensure that you sort of prepare yourself. And that is why it is often encouraged that you take as many roles as possible. When some of our GATT members came in here, they didn't tell us the exact roles they were playing. We had a grammarian just told us a story about maybe a $10 bet but you didn't tell us exactly what the role of the grammarian is, as to maybe taking note of misuse or outstanding usage of words. We didn't take note of that. And next, the hack counter. The hack counter came here and just told us about how she's going to count the usage of the word of the day, but she didn't exactly tell us that she was going to be counting the filler words, punch words. So I thought that was something. I know that was impromptu, but please, you can always speak here better because I know you are better. Thank you. And to the timer, various instances we've had the Toastmaster of the day coming to you to tell you what exactly you are supposed to do. So it's just important. One of the few things that Toastmasters teaches us is attention to details. So ensure that before you come to the meeting, we'll try as much as possible to go through the scripts. It's very important to go through it 1 time, 2 times, and 3 times for you to get better. And then I saw the agenda that we had a table topics, but we didn't have a table topics environment. Thought that should have been included. So for subsequent meetings, please let's ensure that we do that. Many times we're starting the year quite fresh, so it's very hard, quite difficult for us to have a lot of people on that list. So please let's ensure that we put that in. Otherwise, it has been a very fantastic meeting, and I'm so honored to be part of this meeting. A way to kickstart year 2025. Like I said, it's a year that is going to be very prosperous, and we have a lot to achieve together. So thank you. Yes. Timer, please come over to give. Can you come on? Yeah, you can do it from your seat. Yes.
Thank you. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, once my reports for the time we use to for the prepared speeches, this master one matter is use 6 minutes 42 seconds for delivering a speech. And this master Paul Abbey used 14 minutes and 6 seconds for his delivery, and Toastmaster Enna used, his time was entered into which I didn't get that so quite clear. But later on, I was able to time it. The first half of it was around 3 minutes 25 seconds. The second half was 2 minutes 43 seconds. Then during the evaluation, the Toastmaster Anna, she used 3 minutes 33 seconds for the evaluation. Toastmaster, this is 3 minutes on the dot. And then Toastmaster Musa also used 3 minutes on the dot. Then during our table topics, we have guest Barbara, who used 1 minute 16 seconds for her own delivery on the table topics, and guess Oluchi Hassan 36 seconds. So I think the last one was the general evaluator that used 7 minutes 30 seconds. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. I want to thank Unity Toastmasters for this opportunity, remembering me. Now, when you leave office after a long time, sometimes you feel lost. So when they call you like this, you feel good. I just thought I should share something. I talked about the guy who came up the lectern and got his phone out. But I didn't tell you how that person ended up. He joined the club, later became the president of another club, and was the best club president I have ever experienced since I joined Toastmasters. He led a club that produced several other clubs, and members of his executive, they were all on fire. Most of them became club presidents. That shows you how well he groomed them. And today he makes a living as a life coach, a trainer, and a speaker. I don't know who in this room knows Paul. Victor Onduche. Victor, oh my God. He was the person who had that experience. You will not believe it. So it happens. And several of us. Now, I want to speak to something just very briefly. It's a new year. And I listened to Barbara, and like her, I believe that so many of us are like that. We feel like we've set goals and we've not been able to achieve them. One of the challenges we have in this part of the world, I'd say, is understanding what a goal is. Now, someone said I joined Toastmasters because I want to be a world-class speaker. That's a wish. What makes it a goal is when you're able to break it down. And so you ask yourself several questions. How many speaking engagements does a world-class speaker get in a year? How much time does a world-class speaker speak for? How much does a world-class speaker earn in a year? What kind of audience does a world-class speaker speak to? What parts of the world do you have these kinds of persons speaking? When you start providing answers to this, you are now breaking that wish down into achievable goals. And one of the ways, something that will be of benefit to you is what I spoke about earlier, introspection. You may feel like you didn't achieve much or you didn't achieve what you set out to achieve last year, but you achieved something. Yeah? And if you had to repeat that goal, you would not start from where you started the year before because you gained certain expertise. So it's important that you look and think and ask yourself, what did I achieve? What were my challenges? What could we do better? What are the lessons we could learn? These become a platform for you to build the new goal. Because every time you set a goal, you will not achieve it. But you will achieve something that takes you a step further. So it is very important that we first define what these goals are, break them down, and look for examples. I spoke about losing weight. It's a goal, but it's a wish, I beg your pardon. But the first thing you have to ask is, what am I weighing now? And by what kilograms or metrics would you use? And I said something quite funny, but it's interesting. Look at the way this man, I don't wear suits very often because my tummy, I have 7 packs. 6, and then there's one on top that's. Well, when you look at a man like Timmy and you see him with a 3-piece suit and he's confident enough not to button it, you know that you know he's proud of what he's showing. So he becomes a reference point and you start imagining, I want to look. So it makes, so for those of us who are joining Toastmasters to become world-class speakers, you will burn out. I can assure you, because that is not clearly defined. But when you set targets and you say, I want to be able to give 20 speeches in a year, I want to earn 2 million naira per speech, then it begins to make sense. I'll leave you with one thing that happened to me 2 years ago. I was on my way to my office one morning, and I got a call from someone. And I asked, where are you? Are you in Abuja? Are you in Nigeria? I said, yes. Are you in Abuja? Yes. I'm on my way to my office. There's a program going on, and there was a mix-up with the agenda. We were supposed to inform you before. Would you be available to come take a session on XYZ? And I mean, I have to share them this. Said, let me get to my office and look at my diary so that I can give you a good price. So I got to the office and I called. I said, okay, I'll be able to do it. Obviously, I can do it. So I walked up, went there, I did that, and I got paid a couple of millions. But that wasn't the good side. They were impressed at the fact that I did that without preparing. And every year since then, I get at least 5 of that from that organization. That's because I did not run away when I came for my first table topic. So table topics is not just within the club. You can make a living out of it. So I want to encourage those of us who are joining to be world-class speakers. Define what world-class is and stay the course. That's when you reap the benefits of Toastmasters. Thank you very much. Over to you. Can you please put your hands together for DTM Winston P. and Toku?
What does that P stand for?
You know what? You just get access to my heart. I was asking about that. Well, I don't know whether DTM Winston want people to know. Yes, I do know. I'll be for another day. I must be very honest with you. As VPE, candidly, I had almost written today's meeting off because of the number of role players who decided to withdraw for very good reasons. But tonight, you will attest to the fact that we had a fantastic meeting. Absolutely. Please put your hands together. Can any one of us remind us of the theme for tonight's meeting? Can anybody remind us?
Animal parts
Please say that. Say that.
Humor.
Power speaking. Human powered public speaking. Was it really a humorous time we had tonight?
Yeah.
Please put your hands together one more time. Today was Winston DTN. The DTN is also a Toastmaster. Yes. Thank you again for being here. This man, I don't know how many millions would have charged us if you had to pay him. He's one of the rarest DTMs to get, but he obliged us. Thank you so much for coming. And I also want to thank my counterpart from Phoenix, Toastmaster Oluwatosin. You don't want to know where he travels from. But each time I contact him, he says, I'll be there. Please put your hands together for me. I believe there's going to be time for retaliation. Now to our guests. May I please ask you to stand up? You are visiting us for the first time tonight. Please stand up right here. Wow. We had a great tonight. Please put your hands together for them. Now from Barbara and Oluwaseyi. Can I have somebody who has never spoken today? The young one in, yes. What's your name, please? Daniel Bature.
Daniel Adekoye.
Adekoye, okay. Most welcome. What would be your takeaway from this meeting? What would be your takeaway from this meeting?
Yeah, I think like the thing like people like being inspired to continue coming. Yeah, because I'm not a very great spoken speaker or even so some of the things that we shared that people do platforms actually. Yeah, so I think I picked that up.
Wow, thank you so much. Please put your hands together for us. Yes. I will have your name. What's your impression about our meeting today? Oh, you came a bit late, right?
Okay. My name is Nali Eyo.
Okay.
And I'm an entrepreneur.
Right.
And I think it's a fantastic meeting. I can see very handsome men.
With white beard, there's only one with white beard. Only one with white beard.
Yes, I like white bearded men. I think that makes me fantastic. I look forward to coming many times.
Wow. Now, again, those of us who are against discipline. I don't know whether you can think of any organization in Africa that is up to 100 years old. Can you think of any? I know the first thing you want to think is First Bar. But a Nigerian organization. Okay, there are not many, you know. Now, Toastmasters International is over 100 years of age. And all over the world. Wouldn't you consider joining that kind of organization as a guest? Barbara, I have an advice for you. If somebody gives you a gift of $1,000 this year, all you need to be a member of Toastmasters International, you don't need $150 from the 1,000. From the 1,000. And you still have $850 to do your business. And Oluwaseyi, you know, you're already speaking like a Toastmaster. So your best bet is to start your journey with Toastmasters and join Unity Toastmasters. Our guests, thank you so much for coming. Okay. So I'm going to be rounding off now. This red card is is harassing me. Okay. Don't forget that I'm VP, I'm president today. You know, when you come to Toastmasters, you learn new things. Do you know I'm hearing shoe black for the first time? And I think I have enough exposure to be able to have had that in the past. By virtue of my job, I've traveled to the major regions of the world. And I'm hearing shoe black for the first time. So to our guests, anytime you come into Toastmasters International, there's something new to learn. Wow. I just want to leave us with this before we go. And it's going to be a quote from one of the speakers. It says, do something that scares you every day. Toastmaster Isaiah told us that. If you will leave this place, whether you like it or not, 2025 is already short by 12 days, like it or not. So if you have not set your goals, and like DTM told us, don't just write what you want to achieve. Let it be something that you want to act on. If you don't act on it, it's just a wish. Okay, and like they say, if wishes were horses, thank you so much for coming. Our next meeting is going to be holding on the 26th of January, 2025. And we look forward to receiving you again. Our guests, please don't be in a hurry to go. Somebody will like to meet you and tell you more on how to join Toastmasters International. At this meeting comes to an end, and we'll meet again on the 26th January 2025. Thank you for coming.
Contest.
People didn't want to go. Oh, excuse me. Our contest is going to be coming up on the last fourth Sunday of February 2025. More about it will be communicated to everybody. Okay. Last meeting in February, fourth Sunday. By the way, again, in the interest of our guests, we meet here, not here, at our venue, which will be communicated to all. We meet every second and fourth Sundays of the month. Okay, there are times that one can be misled when we have 5 Sundays in a month. Ignore the 5th Sunday. All right? We don't mean fortnightly. We mean second and fourth Sundays. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
I don't